guys, welcome back. We are continuing on with the Howa. Now we're just getting started fresh again, basically, and I'm gonna approach it a little bit differently. So yeah, we ended off in the last loadings at 23.5 grains, and that still wasn't stabilizing. So if you look at the Sierra loading data, they go all the way up. For CFE 223, they go all the way up to 24.4 is the last loading they have without the two red marks, basically telling you pressure. So 24.5 grains has the two little red asterisks, and so 24.4 is the last ones without. Now at 24.4 grains, they are saying a muzzle velocity of 2770 feet per second. So that's basically what we're going to do. I'm going to do kind of like the 6.5 Creedmoor pressure test, but this is going to be more obviously like instead of pressure test, it'll be kind of both. I'm trying to find pressure as well, but in all honesty, I'm just trying to find stability. So this is kind of be a stability test. I'm going to start off at 24 grains because at, like I said, 23.5, it was still nowhere near stabilizing. So we may not be able to get this thing to stabilize. And if we don't, it will kind of, baffle me because they stabilized really great in the Krieger barrel on the AR. And that's only, what is it? Is it 4 inches? Yeah, that's a 24-inch barrel. So that's a 4-inch longer barrel. And it's a Krieger. This Howa, they're both 1 in 8 twists. Is the Howa is a 20-inch barrel, and it's still an accurate barrel, like you see earlier in this video. That 4-shot group of that Black Hills, man, that's a damn good group. And so this next time we go to the range with these 80 grains SMKs, I'm going to bring some of those Black Hills, see if I can't do a 5-shot group of that on camera. Because as you guys seen earlier in the video on the AR shot those Black Hills awful. But shot the 80 grains really good. The Howa shot the Black Hills really good and can't even get the 80 grains to stabilize. So when a bullet don't stabilize, you got a couple things you can do. It's usually one of two things. Your twist rate is bad, not correct for that bullet, isn't fast enough, or your velocity isn't fast enough. Because as you push up velocity, even if this barrel was a 1 in 12 twist, eventually once you get the velocity up high enough, it will stabilize. Now, you may reach pressure, you know what I mean, too quick to even be able to do it, you know what I mean. But no, this is a 1 in 8 twist barrel, so if we push it fast enough, it should stabilize in this gun. And so I'm thinking right at the very top end of this bullet, or of the load, will be where we'll need to be at this. Now, like I said earlier in this video, I didn't have the chronograph yet, so I didn't shoot the Howa loads over the chronograph before, so I didn't know. We ended off at 23.5 grains, so I don't know what the velocities were on that. So yeah, so this reloading is going to be a quick reloading session. We're going to try and get to the range quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is reload 24 grains. We're going to do 1 bullet each, because this is just a test, trying to get just trying to get up to what they're saying, basically 27. If I can get up to 2750, 2700, and this still ain't stabilizing, then there's no sense. Now, at 2700, if there's still absolutely no pressure signs, I may push it a little bit faster. But 2800 for an 80 grain bullet seems fast for an 80. I mean, 223 can get up to 4,000 feet per second, no problem, but that's usually down in the 50 grains, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we're just going to have to kind of do 1 bullet each. So we're going to start off at 24 grains, then we're going to go to 24.2. We're just going to go up in 2/10, then it will be 24.4, 24.6, and 24.8. So I'm going above Sierra's max a little bit. Their max is 24.4 technically, or 24.5 has the little red star. But so I may be pulling a couple bullets. If 24.4 is showing me some, as soon as I'm hitting pressure signs at all, I'm done. I'm done. If it's not stabilizing and I'm seeing pressure, that's the ending point, and we're not even going to try to anymore to get it stabilized. Now I'd say I try a different powder, but looking at, you know, Sierra's loading data, there really isn't another powder that can push it faster. Well, there is, but it's not one that I have. I have a lot of them, but the couple that looks like you could go faster with it, it's like Power Pro Varmint, which I would love to try, and Power Pro 2000 MR. They go up above CFE 223, but everything else dies off way quicker than CFE 223 in the powder charge. So, yeah, so that's basically it. That's going to be the loading video today. It's just going to be a quick one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets to load. I'm not going to do any Fowlers because I'm going to start off with some Black Hills ammo to warm up the barrel and show you guys how good that shot. I couldn't believe how how good that shot in the Howa. And when you can put 4 bullets all in a little clover leaf, all touching, then that's pretty damn good for me. So we need to get started. So I'm starting off so components obviously today is going to be CFE 223 for powder. Actually right here is what I pulled out of the last loads. I had to pull some bullets because I figured that there's no sense in shooting them. They're not even on paper. They were a foot off. You know, I had to aim almost a foot and a half above the target even to get it onto the target. So, and that's sighted in for the 53 grain Black Hills, but still, it shouldn't be that far off. And every time they keyhole. I even went up to, like I said, I jumped right up to the max charge at 23.5 and still big old keyhole. So that's basically it. We're going to get the show on the road. We got 5 bullets to load. So CFE 223 is our powder. I'm just going to reuse the powder from the pulled bullets. I'm also going to use the bullets, obviously. No sense in wasting those. I pulled them with an impact bullet puller, so there's no scuffs on them at all, or they're perfect looking bullets. So, and I'm going to use the cases because they're brand new nozzler cases, all ready, you know, all primed and ready to go. So we got to get these fired as well. So might as well get them. Might as well load up these this test with the brand new nozzler ones. And other than that, the rest of the nozzler brass is pretty much fire formed to the gun. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 9. Oh, actually we got a couple more here as well. 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 13 cases left to get fire formed to the Howa. And yeah, should be good. Alright, so this is going to be quick. Brass is all prepped and primed. So we just got to get powder and bullets in there. Alright guys, I'm going to get these 80 grain Sierras seated here. Also, right after I seat these Sierras, I figured I might as well get the rest of this brass fire formed, and I'm at the same time, since I'm doing a stability test for these 80 grains, I might as well do at the same time do a stability test for the 75 grain Hornady I have as well. So I'm going to load up some of those as well. I looked at the data. I'm going by Hornady's data because it's a Hornady bullet. I try and do that. That's another thing for newer loaders as well. Whatever bullet you're using, I recommend going to their manual. Now, you don't have to, and you may have to. You may not be able to with certain powders and certain parameters may not allow you to do that. But I personally will always go, if I'm using a Hornady bullet, I'll usually go to a Hornady manual. If I'm using Sierra, go to the Sierra, so on and so forth. So, the load data for that, which I'll show you, we're loading that as well after we get these Sierras loaded. Or after we seat these Sierra bullets, we'll go back to the, we'll throw the powder for the Hornadays. But the load data for those are going to be right along the same side of these 80 grain Sierras, because in the middle of the pack for the 75 grain Hornady match bullet is what we're shooting, is at 24 grains. So I'm just going to do the same thing, one bullet each. We'll do 5 bullets, 24 grains. Hornaday's max for the 75 grain is, let's see here, CFE 223 Hornady 75 grain boat tail hollow point match. So in the middle of the pack is 24.3 grains. We'll start at 24. And their max is 25.9 without the red bar, 26.5 with the red bar. So yeah, we'll go right along the side of these. We actually may go a little bit higher because we can go higher on that. So 25.9 is their max, and they're saying 2850 velocity on that. So, well, we'll figure it out. Let me get these seated, and we'll figure it out. So, make sure you guys can see. Yes, you can. Alright. So, like I've said to you guys many times, 20 thousandths off the lands is where I sit. As long as I can. With any bolt gun, I'm usually going to hand feed it. Like this Howa has an internal mag, but I'm still going to hand feed it because it's so easy to hand feed a bolt gun. I'd rather put the bullet at the seating depth I want, because hand feeding is easy on bolt guns. So it's always 20 thousandths off the land with bolt guns. If I'm doing an AR, then I'll tell you. I always tell you what the seating depth is, anyways, on when I'm shooting. But so whenever I'm testing, 20 thousandths off the lands is what I test at. All right. So first bullet, we need 20 thousandths off the land. So it's going to be a CBTO of 1.958. And that should be 20 thousandths off the land. So let me get my calipers all dialed in. Alright, they're good to go. I am going to double check for powder. There is powder in the case. Back off the seating stem. Put your bullet in there and run her up. Give her a quick measure. 2.015. We're looking for 1958. Let me look at what actual OAL is for the Howa. Alright, Howa. The 80 grain SMK was an OAL of 2481. So the 75 grain, oh yeah, no, we're doing the 80 grain. So it was an OAL of 2.481 was OAL, and a CBTO of 1.978. Let me measure the OAL real quick. I just want to make sure I did calculate that right when I transferred CBTO to... Alright, so actually, we'll get it to the CBTO first. So 1.958 is what we're looking for. And then I'll measure the overall length to make sure I was correct. So I was at 215, I think. Let's run it down a little bit. 1.993. Can you guys see that? Yes, you can. 958 is what we need. So 993. Gotta go down a little bit more. Let's do quarter turn. 1.984. Let's do another quarter turn. 1.974. Another quarter turn. That should be 6.4. Wow, quarter turn is pretty pretty accurate. 1.962. Okay, so not 6.4. Alright, we'll do, so 62, 61, 60, 59, 58. Alright, let's see if that gets us there. Booyah! 1.958. Perfect. Alright, next one. Make sure there's powder on it. And this should, I think these ogives were consistent, so I should be able to just use that setting and roll with the rest. Even if they're a little bit off, that's okay. 9585, so good enough. Alright, I'm going to roll with the rest of these real quick. Oh, check for powder real quick. Yep. 960. Let me make sure I ran that all the way up through. Yeah, I didn't. So 9585. So yeah, 959. Good enough. Alright, so those are seated. Let's go back to throwing some powder for the 75 grain Hornadays, and we'll seat those bullets after. Alright guys, I get the last bullet to seat here for the 75 grain Hornady boat tail hollow point match bullets. My battery's dying in the camera, so I figured I'd just show you guys the last one. CBTO of cartridge based ogive number is 1.913, and that is 20 thousandths off the lands for this bullet. 1.917. Let's go down a couple more. We're looking for 913, so that's 915. 1.914. I'll go down just another smidgen. And that should be good. 1.9135. Good enough. Alright, so that's all 5 loaded, good to go. Let's get these in the box. And we will be shooting these here shortly. I just figured, like I said, might as well reload the Hornady and do a stabilization test at the same time as the Sierras. Might as well. We're out there shooting, and there's no sense in just shooting 5 bullets as well. So, and this should get all the brass fire formed as well. Actually, there are 3 more pieces that need to be fire formed. But I'll do that with some fouling rounds later on. We still have a 68 grain Hornady to run, to load up, and I even have some cheap old 62 grain Magtech, I think. Let's see here. Oh, arms core bullets. I think they're the military bullets. Just boat, or no, full metal jacket, arms core, full metal jacket boat tail, 62 grain. I'm pretty sure that's the military style bullet. But alright guys, we will see you out on the range. I appreciate everything you guys do. And yeah, I'll see you guys out on the range. Alright guys, we're back out here with Howa 1500 223 Remington. Yeah, chambered in 223 Remington. We're at the 100-yard line. We're doing our second round of testing for the 80 grain SMKs. The loads we just loaded up there. So we're going to get some velocities of these. And like I said at the bench, we're going to basically try and get up to around 2700 for the 80 grains. And for the 75s, I can't remember what the velocities was on that. I'll check, but so that's basically it. We're gonna shoot the loads that we loaded, one bullet each that we just reloaded at the bench there the other day. Get those shot over the chronograph, and hopefully we can get those 80 grains stable. And from here on, if we find pressure, we're done with the 80 grains. Not gonna go any further. I'm probably not even gonna try another powder with them, because it's just no sense. If we get no pressure signs at all, then I may go a little bit further with the 80 grains. It depends on how bad they are. If at the last bullet it's still nowhere near stabilization, then I'm done. I'm probably done no matter what. Alright guys, I'm gonna go hang up the target and we will get this show on the road. Alright guys, these first 4 bullets are going to be the Black Hills, because the last time I used them to warm up the gun for the 80 grains, for the first time we tried this, it shot really good out of this gun. So they are the 52 grain Black Hills match factory ammo, so I figured I'd warm up the gun again with it and show you guys the groups on it at least. It grouped really well. Now, as you guys see, I'm using the Leopold target because those are perfect 1-inch squares all the way around. And if I just get this stabilized, but it's low, I want to be able to have correct measurements. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to put a 5-round group. I think there's only 4 in the magazine, but I'm going to put the 5-round group over the top left black box. Now there's a bunch of smaller black squares that I covered up previous bullet holes because I didn't want to waste this target, but I'm sure you guys know what a Leopold target normally looks like. So there's 4 black squares with an open middle, and all of those squares are 1 inch on them. So yeah, top left, right above the top left square, I'm going to put this group, and then we'll go from there. And I put a one of my 1-inch fluorescent dots on there, and that's where I'm going to shoot the 80 grains. 80 grain SMKs. .30-78, the first round. That's shooting high, which I sighted. This gun sighted in for this ammo, and I want it shooting high anyways. .30-46. First one, I didn't have a steady hole, and the second one, so we're going to start with that one because that one felt pretty good. Alright, so that was 30-17 on that one. You know what, I'm just going to put this flat, that way I'm not worrying about it anymore. Also, this is a 2-stage trigger, and I am not used to it. It's not nowhere near my benchrest trigger, so I'm definitely trying to get used to that. That's 2 rounds. 3, 4, 5. 30-45. God damn, I can't get this reticle steady. Jesus. Oh, the camera shut off automatically. Alright, so this is my third shot. I'm counting for group. Either way, this group ain't nowhere near what it was the other day. I cannot get this reticle steady. Alright, let's put 3 more. I have no clue where that bullet went. Alright, that was an error. Yeah, I can't get this reticle steady at all. I'm just going to put the last few in there, just for the hell of it, and make sure the error goes away as well. Nope, pulled that one. Kind of felt like it. I don't know. That's the other thing. I can't really call my shots on this gun. Between the trigger, not having a bubble level on it, and that's it. Alright, so arrow went away. That one was 30-23. So out of all those, my average was 3,032. Standard deviation was 3191, and extreme spread was 94, which I don't really know if that's good for factory ammo or not. I have no clue. So, done with this nonsense. I'm going to move on to we'll do Hornady first since it's the lighter bullet. Let's see if we can't get that stabilized, and then we'll move on to the 80 grain Sierra. Now, I haven't even shot the 75 grain Hornady, so I don't even know if that stable, you know, I don't know how that does in this gun to begin with. Yeah, I definitely, that's one thing. Definitely got to get a holder. A holder for the phone. That will make this a lot better. Let's try that. Alright, let's do the Hornady next. Shit, I'm going to save that group. No, I'm going to delete that group. There's no sense in keeping it. Alright, so Howa 223. It's about 2 feet away from the chronograph's 2 feet away. Bullet weight 75 grains. I don't know what the BC is. And we'll just go, we'll go from there. Alright, real quick, I want to go to the Hornady thing and just see what the Hornady is calling for. What velocities they're calling for. Alright, now this is 5.56 data because Hornady don't have a 75 grain under the 223 rifle data. Alright, 73 to 75 grains, grain bullet. Yeah, that's bullet. So 73 to 75 grain bullet, CFE 223. I am going from 24 grains to 25.8. So we're looking around 2700 to 25.9 is 2850. So 24 to 2850 is what they're saying. Alright, let's go back to the chronograph. Let's start this group. Alright, first one. Alright, so the Hornady, I'm going to put, alright, I'm going to put all the Hornadys right above the right black dot, top right black dot. That way I have room below it, because if anything, these are going to be low on the paper, not high. Alright, let's give it a test run. So the right top black dot, I'm aiming for that crosshair. I have no clue if you guys can see this on the target camera or not. I got it at the target, but whether you can see these small crosshairs or not, I don't know. It's the whole reason why I changed to making my homemade targets. I don't really know how to even hold this gun right now. My bench rest is just so stable. I think this is the wrong rear bag, to be honest, because I can't really do what I want to do with this type of stock. So I was right, they are hitting low. They look like they stabilized. 2558 is that load. Now, remember, we're really not going for groups on this because each load is, it's just one bullet each load, so I am going to put them all in the same, at the same crosshair point, but alright, so 25.58. So we're a lot lower than what Hornady said, because shit, what did they say? I already forgot. So CFE at 24 grains, they're around 2,700. Yeah, so yeah, 25.58, that's a lot lower. Although that's 4 inches difference on the barrel too, so I guess that's about right. Can't remember what the average feet per second is per barrel length. That felt like a better hold, and that one was not low. So let's see if these are just grouping like that because of stability reasons, or if it was my hold. Barrel is still mild, very mild on heat. Alright, so that last load was 24. Oh shit. I gotta write these down. Actually, I don't really gotta write these down because I can save it on the chronograph, but I should write them down just in case something happens. So the first one was 25.53. 24.5 grains was 25.89. Alright, so this is 25 grains even. Last case didn't have any pressure signs. Alright, and I think I got a better way to hold it. I'll just hold it underneath the stock like this. I don't really care to hold it like this, but whatever. That one went nowhere near the other ones. That one's 26.14. Now remember, we're just kind of going for velocity data on this session. Back of the brass looks good. Alright, next is 25.5 grains. That felt like a good trigger pull. Yeah. So that first 2 bullet holes look nice and round, but those last 2, they look like they're keyholing. Not as bad, but you would think going up in velocity would lessen that. It's supposed to. Alright, back of the brass on that one looks perfectly fine. Alright, so the feet per second on that one was 26.93. Alright, and this one's 25.8 grains. And honestly, I should have loaded more because I should have took into account that this barrel is a lot shorter, so you're going to get a lot less velocity. Alright, that one went through the bottom hole, I think. Unless it's that top mark at the top of the page. Alright, that one was 27.92. Wow. So, almost reached 2,800, but that's just because the last one jumped up a shit ton. So standard deviation on all those. So the average feet per second was 26.49. Standard deviation was 94.20. Ouch. And extreme spread was 234. Ouch. Oh, that's just beautiful numbers, I'll tell you. Alright, Sierra's next. See what we can't do. Oh, we still got to check the brass on that last one. So, I'm noticing just a hair bit more primer flowback. But not a ton, just a little bit more than, let me see the first charge. Yeah, first charge didn't really have any, and this one has a little bit. Now there's no primer swipe, no swipe on the back of the case, no primer flattening at all, round edges are good, so good to go. Alright, I'm going to save that group, and then let's make a new one. 80 grain Sierra, 100 yards. Alright, let's start this group. First bullet is 24 grains. Now I'm going to aim at the center on this one. Alright, I don't see it anywhere on paper. And of course that was an error, so I didn't get a goddamn reading. Brass looks good. Alright guys, I'm going to aim at the top of the page. 2487. Ouch. These are way too low still. And I'm at the top end of Sierra's load. Still nowhere on paper. Brass looks good. Alright, so 2487 was 42.2. Alright, next is 24.4 grains of CFE. Alright, I'm going to aim above, off the page, about... The problem with this benchrest gun, you don't get any MOA or mill clicks, so I have no clue how far I'm aiming above it. So I'm going to aim what looks to be about 6 inches or so above the page. Last time I shot, I aimed about a foot, and I finally hit the page once. Yeah. Finally hit the page. Oh, that one was 2537. Oh, I really don't want to dial the scope in for these bullets if they're not gonna. Alright, that is not a perfectly round hole, but you know what, I'm gonna just dial it down to the hole, because left and right looks good enough. Alright, it's still going to be a little bit low, but that's fine. Hopefully you can at least have it on paper now. Alright, everything looks good on the brass. That one was 2537, which I already wrote down. Alright, 24.6 grains. I can already tell we're going to have to load higher than this. As long as this last load don't show pressure signs. Then we'll load a little higher, I guess. Alright, so now I'm going to aim back at the fluorescent dot. I should be on paper at aiming there now. And it's not. 2545. Shit, I'm a dumbass. No, it wouldn't, because I brought it from aiming at the top of the paper down to that hole. So if I move it down, it's going to be below the paper, or right at the bottom of the paper. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. Alright, 2545 was that one. Jesus, we're not even anywhere near our 2700. Nowhere near it. Alright, last bullet. Primer looks good, brass looks good. Alright, at the top of the page, and brought the scope all the way down to the bullet hole. So that should bring the bullet hole all the way up to the top of the page. But it's still going to be off a little bit because I was aiming 6 inches above the page, and I made the adjustment from just at the top of the page. So yeah, I'm going to go down. Alright, went down about 6 more inches. Let's see what that does. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to aim at the fluorescent dot again. There we go. At least my calculations were correct. So yeah, because I was aiming at the top of the page, so when I took my shot that hit the bottom of the page originally, I was aiming about 6 inches above the whole frame, so above the top of the page, so into the woods I was aiming, about 6 inches above the top of the page. Well, when I made the adjustment, I put the crosshairs at the top line at the page, so it's still going to be 6 inches low. So when I shot the next one brought the crosshairs back down to the orange dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's only 6 more dots, which is 6 inches below that dot, so it's going to hit just off the page a little bit, or right around the bottom of the page. So I brought it down about 6 more inches, and we are just left of the orange dot, and now I'm out of bullets, so that just worked out great. Alright, so velocity on that one was 2664. So yeah, conclusion is, so far, is we gotta load up some more. As long as this bullet I pull out, or brass pull out, as long as this brass that I'm about to pull out don't have any bad marks on it. Alright, 2664. Alright, that was a standard deviation of 75, or an average of 2558, standard deviation of 7503, and extreme spread of 177. Oh, gross numbers. Hideous. Absolute hideous. Alright. Brass looks good. Yeah, brass looks good. So the foot-pounds on the last one, actually that number don't really matter. So my minimum was 2487 feet per second, and my maximum was 2664. So I'm not going to end it here, since there's no pressure signs on this last piece of brass. I'm going to bring it up to, so we ended off at 24.8 grains. I'm going to bring it up probably 26.8, or sorry, 25.8 grains is what I'll bring it to. That's 1 whole grain above where we're at. I'll probably go in 2 or 3 tenths, and if I got to pull some bullets, that's fine, no big deal. But I want to at least try and get to maybe a little bit of pressure signs, but at least 2700 feet per second. Alright, let me save that group. I like this chronograph. I missed two bullets, 2 readings out of that whole session. That wasn't bad, and it's pretty nice so far. Alright guys, let's go back up to the bench, look at the brass, look at the results. Alright guys, we're back up here at the bench. This is a quick look at the brass. So this one is the Hornady, or sorry, the SMK. Oh, let's see if I can't get you guys backed out here. There we go. Alright. So this is the starting load of the SMK. About as good as I can get you guys here. Holy. I'll just leave them in there. Alright. So yeah. Starting load to the left. Top load to the right. And yeah. No signs on them at all really. This one had a little bit of primer flowback. Or flowback into the firing pin. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that at all, to be honest. This is not the best camera when it comes down to... But yeah, no, other than that, the case looks really good. No real swipes or anything. I'm even getting bit up here in the garage. Alright, so yeah, brass looks good. Oh, wrong one. So yeah, brass looks good on all of them. And I would expect that, because we were really lacking on the 80 grain SMKs, and on the Hornadys they were lacking a little bit, but we reached 2792, which ain't bad. 2800 is what they were calling for that top load. But if you remember correctly, the top load was definitely misjudged because it was a lot higher than the rest. So the last load jumped up significantly. So, alright, so now when it comes down to the groups, man, it's just a jumbled mess, really. So I'm going to try and hold this so you guys can see it. Sorry for the shaking, if I am. So that is all of the factory Black Hills match ammo. So we shot 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. So that one up there is the Hornady one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 6, 7. So there's 4 in this little doohickey there. So it can be accurate, but that gun, man, I'll tell you, the Howa ain't bad, but I'm nowhere near used to that 2-stage trigger. Not only is it a 2-stage trigger, it is pretty it does have a pretty heavy second stage as well. The first stage obviously is just the slack, so that's nothing. But the second stage is a little heavy, and I just can never judge when it's gonna break. And I kind of want to know exactly when. I don't mind it surprising me a little bit, but I want to know around when it's going to break, because I need to know when it's going to break, so that way wherever I have my crosshairs. That's a debate too. You guys will find that on the internet too. That's a big debate. Some people say the shot should always surprise you, and some people will say you should always know when the shot's going to break. Now, I don't know what side I'm on, really, to be honest. For me, I want it to surprise me a little teeny bit, but I need to know, I need to get used to the trigger, basically is what I'm saying. I need that trigger, and I guess I'm on the side of I want to know when it breaks, because if I'm not sure where it's going to break, then the crosshairs could be frickin', you know, a couple millimeters to the left, or, you know, or whatever, a quarter of an inch to the left when it breaks, and I thought it should break, you know. So yeah, I guess I'm more on the side of I want to know when it breaks. But either way, whatever. So this is the Hornady's first shot down there. Now the Hornady's, I don't think I adjusted at all, did I? No, I didn't. First shot down there. Second shot, I think there. You guys will see it on the tape anyways, as long as the range camera caught all of it. And then I think third shot there, fourth shot there, or no, I think fourth shot was there, which I thought ended up in that group right there. And then that was fifth shot, I think, but you guys will see it. I haven't even checked the camera, so you guys know quick. You know, you guys know quicker than I do, really, because you know, I look at it during editing a little bit, but not much. So that's the Hornady, 5 shots, and then you guys kind of know what happened to the Sierra. So the first one I actually got on paper was there. Now, first time I was aiming was at this, obviously, and never shot on paper, never got on paper. So then I can't remember how it happened. I think maybe the first 2 I aimed at this one, and then I moved up to there, to that crosshair. So that would have been the 4th shot. No, okay. No, that would have been the 3rd shot. And then 4th shot, I aimed about 6 inches above the top of the actual target. So not this line, the actual target. So somewhere, you know, up in this area, good 6 inches above the target. So the 4th, would be the 4th shot, which hit down there. No, okay, so I adjusted twice. Okay, so yeah, 1 shot was there, 2 shots was, the second shot was up there. Third shot was up 6 inches above, which shot down there. Then I brought the crosshairs down from aiming at this line. So that's, you'll hear me explain on camera that that's why the 4th shot wasn't nowhere near on the paper either, because I adjusted from here, not up here, 6 inches above. So I brought the scope all the way down to here. I didn't do left or right. I kept windage fine, and then shot back up here. So the distance that I, are missing from here, from here up, about 6 inches, accounts for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I was probably a little bit higher than that, so that's why the 4th shot went off the paper as well. Either way, so I adjusted for the 4th shot, or for the last shot, which would be the 5th shot, I aimed here and adjusted down to this crosshair, this point, and that's where it hit. Now, as you guys can see, it's still keyholing like a son of a bitch, and that was our highest velocity. Now, as you guys also can see, the velocities weren't nowhere near what I expected them to be. Highest we got on the 80 grain was 2665, and I was trying to get almost up to 28 if I could, but I said 2750, somewhere around there I'd stop or quit. But honestly, the way I'm looking at it now is I'm going to quit when I start seeing a little bit heavier pressure signs, because I haven't seen any pressure signs yet. So if I get just a little bit of a flat primer or a teeny bit of a swipe on the back, then I know I need to back down from there, but at least I know where the pressure signs are starting. So I am going to load up a few more of the 80 grains. I don't know if it's worth it, to be all honest. Probably just freaking wasting bullets. But I do want to get these, I want to try and get these stabilized, so I can probably try and order some more and just see what they do. See if I can get good groups out of these. I don't know. I'm doing it one more time. One more time and I'm done. Even if I don't hit the velocity I want on this next time, I'm still done. I'm not going to waste any more bullets. So this next time I'm going to still do 1 bullet a piece, 1 bullet per load. I ended off at 24.8, so I'll probably go 25 grains, 25.3, 25.6, 25.8, and go from there. And that should get us up into the upper 2700s. I'm hoping. If it don't, I'm done. I'm just gonna call it good. And honestly though, I'm still kind of scared about it though, or not scared, but worried about it, because those 75 grains, I was aiming, every single one of those was aiming there, and they're all over the fucking place. So I don't think these 80 grains are gonna hit where, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about that, because on that last shot, it could just be a coincidence, but I was aiming there and I got everything calculated and dialed in. I was aiming there and it hit there. So maybe the Sierras will group. So I don't know. I have no freaking clue. I'm just going to try one more time. If I can't get it, oh well. Not missing out. To be all honest, I think that Howa is going to shoot incredible with the lower, mid-grains, like 60s. So after I figure out this whole Sierra deal, I'm going to move right to the 68 grains. And I'm thinking that's going to be a perfect grain weight for that Howa, because it really likes those 52s from Black Hills. So I don't know. I'm going to try some 53s and some 68s and some 63s. So yeah, I'll try the last few bullets I got for grain weights, but I think the 68s are going to do good. Yeah, we'll see. Alright guys, I appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciate if you guys would hit the like button, subscribe if you like the content. Alright guys, I will see you guys in the next one.